Chaudhari. I'll be speaking about phases of moon today. Phases of moon has been one of the most interesting things about moon to the entire humankind. There have been different stories as to why this happens right since the beginning. But today, with the help of a diagram, I will show you how moon grows in size from new moon to full moon, and then how it reduces in size from full moon to new moon. There are various phases, for example, new moon, crescent, dichotomous, gibbous, full moon, and again back to new moon. Now, why it happens, let us understand with the help of a simple diagram. The various positions of moon, starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. From Earth, what we can say is the 50% of the moon which faces the Earth. And if you look at the moon and the sun, then 50% of the moon which is facing the sun is lit. I will show it like this. And the other 50% which does not face the sun is unlit. Now, Earth being here and sun being here, I can say that the moon is on 0 elongation over here, and elongation of moon is 180 degrees here. 0 degree elongation is called conjunction. 180 degrees elongation is called opposition. The opposition is also called as full moon. What happens on the new moon? The entire lit portion which is towards the sun is turned away from Earth. We don't see any moon and we call it new moon. Whereas the 50% of the moon which is towards the sun is also facing the Earth. We see the entire moon lit, and this is called full moon. From sun's meridian to moon's meridian, if we must turn clockwise as seen from top, or if we must turn westward to get the moon is said to be in westerly elongation. So all these positions over here, the moon is on westerly elongation. Over here the moon is on easterly elongation. Where the moon is on westerly elongation, any observer on the Earth spinning eastward along the Earth will find moon to rise and set before sun. So when moon rises and sets before sun, it means that moon will be seen only in the morning sky. The start of the lunar month, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The moon is on easterly elongation, 45 degrees, 90 degrees easterly elongation, 135 degrees easterly elongation, and this is 180 degrees elongation. Now, position 8 is 45 degree westerly elongation, 90 degrees westerly elongation, 135 degrees westerly elongation. In position 2 and 8, we see less than 50% of the lit part. So these phases are called crescent phases. In position 3 and 7, we from the Earth are able to see 50% of the lit portion. They are called dichotomous. In position 4 and 6, we are able to see more than 50% of the lit part of the moon. It is called gibbous position. In position 5, the entire lit part of the moon is visible to Earth. This is called full moon. So talking about the easterly elongation, as the Earth spins eastwards, that is anti-clockwise as seen from the top, the observer will find the sun to rise and set before moon. So when the sun rises and sets before moon, it means that moon will be seen in the evening sky. Curvature of crescent must show the position of sun. So if you are seeing the crescent in the evening sky here, and in the evening sun is to the west, you will see the curvature facing west, whereas in this position you will see the curvature facing east. So if you can draw these phases, while in number 1 it is new moon phase, in position number 2 the moon is in crescent phase, and you are able to see the western part. By convention, if the west is over here, you will see the crescent this way. Position number 3 is dichotomous. You are able to see this 50%. Position number 4 is gibbous. You will be able to see the lit part this way. Position number 5 is full moon. The entire lit part is seen to you. Number 6 is again give us more than 50%, but by convention you are seeing the lit part on the east. Number 7 is dichotomous again. You are able to see the 50% of the lit part. And number 8 is crescent again. This time the curvature of the crescent is pointing to east. So as I said, this crescent is in the evening skies and this crescent is in the morning skies. Another interesting thing about these phases of moon, while the moon is in conjunction, the angular distance between the moon and sun is 0. So can we say that the meridian passage of the moon occurs at about 12 o'clock local time? Now here, the meridian passage of moon will occur about 3 hours after 12 o'clock, that is after sun's meridian passage. So can I say 1500 local time? And same way, this happens on 1800 local time, 2100 local time and midnight. This is 0300 in the morning, 0900 and once again 12 o'clock. Depending on in which phase the moon is, the local time of meridian passage would be like this. Moon has cold and rocky surface. The size is not big, but the distance is too small. So moon is influencing the earth in many ways. Moon is the closest heavenly body in the vicinity of earth. Moon's diameter is 216,000 miles, which means that if you have a car speeding to 144 kilometers per hour, we can transit the entire diameter in one day. Moon orbits around the earth in anti-clockwise fashion. As I said, the time taken in space is about 27.3 days, but if we consider the time with respect to sun, that means from new moon to new moon, it would take about 29.5 days. It's called lunation or lunar period. So out of this 29.5 days, the 50% of the time, the moon is growing in size, which is called waxing, and for the rest 50% of the time in the orbit, it is called waning, that is reduces in the size as seen from the earth. So I hope you enjoyed my lecture on phases of moon.